Good morning, Theo here. And have you ever thought to yourself, man, one video a day just isn't enough. I need more Zeo in my life. That rugged beard, that long hair. I need more. Guess what? You're in luck. Because all this week, I'm in two places at once. Not only am I here, but I'm also kicking it over at the Chrillcast talking about other random things. Like Monday, we talked about Halo. So, what you should do is hop down into my description and go take a look. While you're at it, of course, you want to go ahead and subscribe, and I have it on good authority that Thursday video is quite shocking. I know that's clickbait, but you should go check it out anyway. And since we're talking about subscribing, you should totally subscribe to my channel too if you're brand new here. Because if you don't, I will find you, and I will look at you very disappointedly through a window at night. So, with all that, let's get into it, shall we? Last week we talked about E3. I Am 8-Bit recently just pulled out of the event, and they were tasked with designing or redesigning the event and updating things and all that good jazz. And they pulled out about 3 months prior to the event. It's a big thing to have them pull out. And before that, of course, you had Sony pulling out, which isn't surprising considering they weren't there last year either. And then we also had Jeff Keighley himself pull out of the event, and speculation about how or why that is. It could be the video game awards. He didn't want to do both because they're sort of competing with each other. But he's been at every E3 since pretty much the inception, so big upset. And of course, there are things that have been said, like the things that he knows, he just doesn't want to be a part of the event anymore. And it's left questions like, why? What are these things that you know? And I Am 8-Bit didn't really give a reason. They were just like, yeah, we've decided to part ways. And they've been with them for, since they signed them on to do all this and announced all that earlier. And, it's one of those things that it's like, this could be it. This could be the end of E3. And then this happened. What are we looking at exactly? We're looking at a reportedly canceled event for E3 2020. It looks like they may be pulling the plug, and we're not going to have an official statement until later this morning. Right now I'm recording this at 3 a.m. in the morning because I worked super late, and I know I'm not going to be up to actually record before I have to go into work later. So yeah, that's why we're talking about it now. So yeah, all right, so let's get into it. Apparently, there have been multiple sources this morning, or last night actually, because this was apparently, well, yeah, last night. Gosh, I can't figure out what my days are right now. In fact, I'm also like an hour behind everything because I just can't get used to this moving forward thing. My concept of time is anywhere but right. But there's a bit, apparently E3 has been canceled due to concerns about the spread of a certain virus out there. According to reports, multiple sources familiar with the Entertainment Software Association, the group behind E3, or the ESA for short, have confirmed the cancellation. An official announcement will come shortly, with one originally scheduled for Tuesday. I don't know about that. I mean, this was written late Tuesday afternoon, night, and was written at 7. I think they may have meant Wednesday, but anyway. Prior to the report's publication, of course, video game publisher Devolver Digital tweeted, "Cancel your E3 flights and hotels, y'all." Where are they located to use y'all? That's a southern thing. Anyway, and that stoked the already significant I can't read. Anyway, point is, everybody should cancel their stuff because E3 is probably getting canceled. After previously saying that it would go ahead with E3, the ESA on March 14th said it was monitoring and evaluating the situation daily, which we did talk about. And, yep, that's it. E3's canceled. Bye-bye, y'all. We're done with this. No, but seriously. I have opinions. I have thoughts. Honestly, it's a shame. It really is. I don't know about you, but I would love to go to some of these events. I've always wanted to go to something like E3, BlizzCon, Comic-Con, things like that. I would honestly love to go there at least once. Once sometime in my lifetime. Have I gone to cons? Yes, I've gone to a few anime conventions in my day. But I would love to go to some video game. And I mean, E3 is a glorified sales thing, right? You know, you go, you get advertised, you see new things, you may see new things. But, you know, it's the spectacle of it all, the fact that there's people there, you know, you can jive with, talk to about things. It's a thing that you might want to do. And it's getting canceled, which shame. I mean, on one hand, it was inevitable, right? With Sony gone for 2 years now, it was just a matter of time for Bethesda, Microsoft, and everybody else to just pick up and go. I mean, even Nintendo has a presence there, but it's not that big. Oh, I think, what is it? They do just a treehouse or something? And do they... I don't even remember if they actually do it there, if they pre-record it and just do it, or how that works. But, you know, because I hadn't really paid attention to it. But, they do those treehouse things throughout the year sometimes. They do these Nintendo update things with different stuff where they talk about Animal Crossing or Pokemon and other big games of theirs throughout the year. And quite frankly, having a huge presence at E3, no point to it. I can't remember who it was last year, but they rented a space right next to E3 and did their own gig, like, you know, that Saturday or whatever it was, instead of actually being a part of E3, and they still did pretty good at that. You know, and Sony, of course, has been, this is the second year, because, you know, they pulled out last year and I guess decided, you know, it wasn't worth the cost to go to E3 because, quite frankly, nothing changed for them. They still did their thing. They still, you know, showed off their stuff somewhere. And it really didn't make a difference whether or not that they were at E3 or not. But, you know, as for other things when it comes to E3, it's also a place for developers and news outlets and other things to sort of make contacts and get to know other people. So it's more than just the spectacle. Somebody like myself who would go just to see the trailers and things like that. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, it feels like it was an inevitability that it would happen. But at the same time, it kind of sucks on other parts, especially when you're talking about an industry that kind of relies on, you know, contacts and getting to know people to learn things and to maybe, you know, get that next gig or find that new idea, you know, and stuff like that. These things still serve a purpose in a way. But at the same time, the ESA kind of has blundered E3 too. Last year, they had that huge data lake that was like, what was it, on their, can't remember, maybe it was on their website or something, where it posted a bunch of information about, you know, people at the event, distributors, you know, people selling things, people being there, you know, hosts and other stuff at the event. It was a huge misstep on whoever did that. I'm sure somebody got fired, definitely. But you know, and then there's the things behind the scenes that we just don't know, right? Like what Jeff Keighley was referring to, you know, those things or whatever, and he just doesn't want to be there anymore. It makes you wonder, you know, what exactly has been going on with E3, and then 8-Bit Digital just, you know, 8-Bit just straight up dropping them out of nowhere, out of the blue like that, so close to the event, makes you wonder what exactly is going on with the ESA at this point in time. Yeah, and with the E3 in particular. But at the same time, the virus is a big concern. Well, I think New York is being hit kind of hard at this point. Uh, California, I think, may have declared a state of emergency recently or something like that, or parts of it. I could be wrong. I've not been following it all too close. We've had a couple of cases actually appear in my state now. Granted that they're, or were they again? I think a good 4 hours away towards the center of the state. Don't really quite remember. Oh, yeah, I do now. Anyway, yeah, we also got hit with a nice huge tornado recently too, which didn't help anything. In the same area almost. Anyway, aside from that, yeah, if they cancel it, it's probably going to be canceled due to the virus, and the possibility of the virus spreading and stuff like that. Although I think there's a lot more to it than just, the virus. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, because we still don't know why Jeff left. We don't know why 8-Bit, officially left, other than marketing statements. And honestly, I don't think the reasons they left were virus related. It had to have been something else behind the scenes, something the ESA was doing they didn't like, they didn't jive with, I think, and that's what caused them to cut out. But anyway, I guess I'll pass it on to you. What do you think about all this? E3 closing its doors. Oh, one more thing. They're closing their doors this year. Will they reopen next year? That's actually a legitimate question, because as we were saying, things are not going very well for E3 at all. Their big names are pulling out, companies are starting to pull out. We don't know why. There may not be an E3 next year, to be totally honest, but only time will tell. This year they have an excuse, the virus. Next year, we may find out some more damning things about the ESA and what's been going on behind the scenes that we haven't been previewed to before. Just because, if they, just because. That's usually how long it takes some things to come out sometimes. But, yeah. Now, I'll pass it on to you. What do you think? E3 shutting down, is it for good? Is it just temporary? Just this year? Good or bad? How do you feel about it? Let me know down in the comments.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.